On this episode of Carnage, we're going to start the process of taking the engine out of that and sticking it in that. So, cast your mind back to last year. Well, a lot of us don't want to remember last year, but last year the boys went and bought this 1994 Toyota Lexcen Wagon. Basically, it's a Commodore wagon, a VR Commodore wagon, 1994. In Toyota speak, they call this a T3. But yeah, basically it is a Commodore wagon. It was done under a government thing called the Button Plan, where the manufacturers all had to share makes and models. You know, so we ended up with weird things like the Ford Maverick, which was a Nissan Patrol with Ford badges, or we had the Nissan Ute, which was a Ford Falcon Ute with Nissan badging on it, you know, or, you know, Holden Novas, which were Toyota Corollas, just weird stuff like that. And then, you know, the Holden Commodore, which was like the most well-known car in Australia, started appearing with Toyota badges, you know, so the Toyota Lexcen was a thing. Named after Ben Lexcen, the famous designer of the wing keel, you know, the Australia Cup winner. Yeah, they put his name on it, and they didn't sell very well. There's not a lot of them about. However, we like the idea of having, you know, a Commodore with Toyota badges and then maybe giving it a Toyota motor. So that's why we've got this over here. A 1994 Toyota Soarer, so same year model, but yeah, Toyota Soarer. This thing would have been an expensive car back in the day, and under the bonnet it has 4 litres of Toyota V8, quad cam, 32 valve, it's got all the valves, but yeah, very smooth engine, and this is the early 1UZ. So this is a Toyota 1UZ engine. It's the early one. So this has the big rods in it. So you can put boost on these as it is and probably make 500 horsepower at the tyres. Great engines. So we're going to take that engine and stick it in this, which currently has a 3.8 litre V6. Where are you? There you go. So, a very generic Holden 3800cc V6. It's an okay engine. It's 130 kilowatts. That's like 180 something kilowatts. So, 130 kilowatts. It's a good daily driver, and that's what I'm doing with it at the moment, daily driving it. But I am getting an Isuzu D-Max in a few weeks, so I figure now is a good time to start prepping for that swap, because once I've got a D-Max, I don't need this as a daily anymore, and then we can rip the motor out of that, stick that in there, and everything will be right with the world, you know. So we'll have Toyota V8 in a Toyota car, making the Holden V8 Commodore that isn't actually a Holden V8 Commodore. So we have a slight issue. The suspension in this is kaput. And to get it up on the arms of the hoist, we're going to have to jack up the car. So yeah, as the boys say, first step, jack up your car. Jesus. So we've got our Soarer up on the hoist for the very first time. I still haven't even looked under there. I have no idea what's under there. So let's go exploring. And first up, yeah, all this plastic covering is, it's stuffed. Wow. Oh, there is so much dirt and rubbish jammed up in there. Ooh, didn't like the sound of that. Look at it. So much grass and dirt all jammed up in there. I think that line Used to be attached to something. That's probably why the air suspension doesn't work anymore. Surprisingly, the sump isn't actually hammered. Can't believe that. I would have thought they would have had the sump all dented, but it's quite protected by this rail here and this rail here. But yeah, trans sump's a bit dented. A few dents there and a few dents there, but we've got plenty of them. But yeah, okay, this will work. All right. I guess let's get to work. Where do we start? I guess these colours. You'll be happy to know we're using our impact sockets. Blah. Sticks and leaves, and can only assume spiders. Yeah. How did this not catch fire? Engine mount. Here. Oh Jesus, it's heavier than I thought. Oh fuck. I got it. You got your end? Wow. Obviously it had a non-standard exhaust system. God, it's heavy. But check up here inside the cat. Yeah, she's stuffed. But anyway, we'll pull all that out and yeah, just trying to work out at the moment if we try and pull the motor and box out as a unit or whether we try and pull them out together. I'll undo these cats and we'll go from there. We definitely have to pull the tail shaft off. Jeez. Seriously, I'm just expecting a possum to appear out of this car somewhere. It's just, there's so much nesting material. Tail shaft. Oh, there we go. One cat. Meow. So we've done most of the stuff under here. We've just left the gearbox cross member in there and that sort of thing. We may make an attempt, I think, at doing this all at once. We'll see. But anyway, we'll move topside, we'll pull the bonnet and start taking all the peripherals off, your airbox, all that sort of stuff. Stuff that we ain't gonna need. All right, let's get to that. actually lighter than I thought. Wow, so much light. You can actually see what we're looking at. And it doesn't look good. Shall we look at the air filter? Oh. Wow, they make them easy to replace, don't they? That side's nice-ish. That side, not so much-ish. Wow. It's for the bin. So that's something a little bit different I've never seen before. Now, engine fans, they come in various shapes and sizes. Obviously you get the old school fan bolted directly to the engine. Then you got like the hydraulic clutch ones, which are still bolted to the engine, but they kind of come in at certain RPMs. You got electric fans and everything like that. Well, this one is hydraulic oil controlled fan unit that basically drives the fan blade. I mean, obviously people who've had some dealing with Toyotas would have seen all this before, but this is all new to me. And like, how amazing and complicated is that? They actually use a fluid coupling drive system, which is obviously controlled by some unit somewhere to drive the fan. Those Japanese guys, man, they think of everything. But bloody hell, I'm glad that's not going in the Lexcen. Now we get to test the tensile strength of everything that we've left attached to the engine. We asked it nicely, it didn't want to be nice. So we asked it not so nicely. I'm glad it's not going back in this car. There we have it, a 1UZ. I think we have to do some cleanup before it even thinks about going in there. Wow. I'm not sure if I'm looking forward to this or not. That is one dirty girl. Well, there you have it, 4 litres of fury, and I think we'll leave it there for this episode. Yeah, but we've got a whole heap coming up. You've already seen we've got a very cool intake to go on this thing. Obviously we want to do a lot of cleanup. I want to get a brand new cam belt on there. I want to do gaskets, studs, valve springs, maybe even camshafts. Haven't decided on that yet, but I haven't ordered any of that stuff yet because to be honest, this was kind of the spur of the moment thing. We're waiting on other parts, so we thought, let's whip this out. Excuse me while I whip this out. Anyway, there you have it. We're gonna be doing some stuff to this on an engine stand, and then once it's ready, it's going in that. But that's a couple weeks away yet. Even so, it's gonna be a pretty cool journey, so make sure you join us on future episodes of Carnage.